So here's where I'm at with the whole drama with James Click and Jim Crane, the owner, the GM, the 1-year offer, James Click not doing it. This is a theory, and I think it's a really sound theory. I think it's what's happening within the front office of the Houston Astros and in the office of the owner, Jim Crane. Jim Crane wants David Stearns to be his long-term baseball guy. David Stearns, of course, like the GM, executive VP, whatever his title is with Milwaukee, he's been on top of the baseball staff there. David Stearns stepping down like a month ago, but still has a year left on his contract. Milwaukee has said they will not let him out of his contract and go to a different team. So Crane, who wants David Stearns, can't get him for another year. It's Nick Caserio with the Houston Texans all over again. They can't get him. So the reason that they've offered Click a 1-year deal is the bridge for David Stearns. And why not have the bridge be the GM that's been here the last few years and that just won a World Series? So it makes sense. But James Click, obviously, just won a World Series, has done a good job. He's a good general manager. Is like, you kidding me, man? Why are you only giving me 1 year? I need more years. Or at the very least, more money. I think it's more years. So the perfect solution that I have to make all parties happy for now, Jim Crane, James Click, and you still get your guy, David Stearns, when it's all said and done. You just give James Click whatever he wants. If he says that I'm wanting X amount of dollars for 4 or 5 years, you say, fine, I'm giving that to you. Here it is. This is the contract. You're the GM of my team. And then in a year, you hire David Stearns to be president of baseball operations or whatever title you want to give him that's above James Click. So you're giving James Click more money that he probably wants or that you probably are willing to give him, but you're making him happy for another year. At the end of the day, you still get your guy, David Stearns. If James Click is upset about that, cool, go find another job. You're willing to play poker and chicken with him right now anyways. So just give Click the contract that he wants, sign your guy at the end of the season, and then just tick off James Click. And if he wants to leave, he leaves. If he doesn't want to leave, then he's here for a while anyways.
Again, that goes back to that can all work, and that is very Jim Crane-ish in the way he handles all of his business outside of sports and inside of sports. And again, going back to the article with SI, I just think that that's really unfair to do to a guy that did his job to get you another World Series title. And the fact that you leave him as a lame duck and then you're going to give him what he wants, but only to basically pull the rug out from under him in so many terms, but he's going to get paid if he just wants to sit there and be a good soldier. But he knows that his value is going to be in the utmost in the next year and a half. So if he doesn't have a chance to get a new job in the next year and a half, he may never get another opportunity. So that's at least that substantial. So that's a very tricky way of doing business that I think, again, would leave kind of a dirt trail of nastiness across baseball. But I'm sure Jim Crane doesn't care.
Right.
He's just going to handle his business the way he's going to handle his business. Look, Stearns is a guy that was he was the president of the Brewers the last year. There was all kinds of rumors about why he was stepping back. Whether the owner claims they still have a good relationship. They wanted to say it was something with his personal life and his family, but everybody to a man will tell you he is a sharp business guy, a baseball guy. He knows this league inside and out. So, from Sig to Stearns, you got two guys, either guy I would be absolutely ecstatic with.
It can't be Sig, though. To me, I know that he was rumored in the past, but Sig's attainable. You could go get Sig right now. So the fact that he hasn't went out to
you're
get
saying
Sig
he's already
Mejdal,
targeted who he wants as his next choice.
David Stearns, in my opinion, there is zero doubt that Jim Crane wants him to be the general manager of this team for the next decade. He just can't do it yet.
I just think
because Milwaukee's not going to let Stearns out of his contract, and Stearns has ties with Houston. He was the first assistant general manager with Jeff Luhnow, so they've worked together. I think it's very obvious what's going on.
Hey guys, back to the video in just 1 minute. Before that, I want to tell you about Fitz Roofing. If you got a leaky roof or need a full roof replacement on your business or your home, or you want to get something done around the yard or maybe something around the house, they have the best warranties in the business, the best ratings, and the best service. They're going to take care of you every step of the way. Fitz Roofing, making a difference, one home at a time.
The only thing I would say, and you may be right, he might not give a rat's ass about this, but I think that from a reputation standpoint in sports, to go out and treat a guy to give him a lame duck contract and offer him only 1 year, coming off a World Series, the current one, to do that to Click, That's a bad look.
Well, that's why I'm telling you, you give them years. You give them 3-4 years. You're guaranteeing them 3 to 4 years if you want the job. That doesn't mean I'm not going to go hire your boss someday, but I'll give you a 3-4 year contract that you want. I'm not going to guarantee that you're always going to be my personnel guy. I can't guarantee that you're always going to be the dude making every single decision. And look, I think it makes sense for Click too, because Click can't leave right now. He can, but he's going to be out of work. He's not going to be a general manager. So Click can get a good chunk of money for a year. He adds another year being a GM on his resume, and what's going to be a very good team again, probably 100 wins. They're going to be in contention for another World Series. So Click gets paid for another year handsomely. He adds another very good year to his resume, and then who knows what the landscape of Major League Baseball is in a year from now. There's probably going to be some GM openings. Everybody around baseball is going to know that Click's available because the Astros are going to want David Stearns. Right now, there's no option for James Click.
I'm surprised. Right now there isn't, but I'm also surprised that there aren't owners across baseball who basically are teetering on their general manager or, have had similar situations in terms of the kind of up and down relationship Crane had with Click that couldn't just say, you know what, now I am going to pull the trigger because now I know I got a guy that I can go get that seems like the more modern day analytic GM that I need to run my franchise, and then they could create an opening. Because you're right, there's no openings now, but there's nothing holding an owner back from saying, hey, if this dude is available, and like you said, if he's there in Vegas and he's networking, that's the best time to find out, hey, if there's the possibility of an opening. Because I think even amongst his peers, they're going to go, so let me get this straight. You took this job, and you never got a chance to select your own manager. And then your owner came in and basically put a guy above you a year after you won the World Series and basically handcuffed you from doing anything without double approval. And that's a bad look for a guy that prides himself on analytics and knowing, and being a shrewd guy that knows talent and all the things that go with being a general manager.
Yeah, I don't think Click is it's ruining his reputation at all. I think that Click's reputation's never been better, and if he stays for another year, I don't think it's going to be better. I think it makes sense for Crane. Just make Click happy. If he wants 3 years, give him 3 years. Click's going to know in the back of his mind that that's not a guaranteed full 3 years.
Click's got to be ready to eat it up, though, right?
Sure.
Like
Click's
money-wise.
Click's also going to understand the idea that he's going to be looking for jobs this upcoming season, anyways.
But I'm saying Click's got to, and again, this from the Tillman philosophy of I don't like paying guys free money. So if I understand I'm going to use him this year and he's going to be the guy.
Right.
But in a year when I bring Stearns in, now I've got to be willing to eat, a substantial millions of dollars for a couple more years on a contract.
That would be the question, is the Crane has to eat the money. But look, you eat the money. You're right now reaping the benefits of having one of the best teams in all of baseball, the best team in all of baseball. It doesn't count against the competitive balance
It's the
tax.
cost of
Eat
trying
the
to
money.
do business at the top of the league, too. Yeah. It's some of the things you have to suck up.